Two 1-1 teams here, each looking to move over 500, and we're underway here in Week 3. Cordero Patterson to return it, bringing it out of the end zone. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18.
Here we go.
Beginning on the ground with Patterson. Oh, what a move. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Give them 15 yards to start their first drive of the game. Plays like that will really help this offense settle in here on the road.
And when you go on the road, you also have to deal with the fans as well. And when you have those types of runs, that'll settle them back into their seats.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Off the play fake, it's Ritter. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. You talk about this Lions defense. We know they're going to be tough to throw on. Top 3 in the NFL defending the pass.
Yeah, defending the pass hasn't been an issue for them. It's been stopping the run. And if they don't stop the run, they can't get back to their strength, which is guarding against the air attack.
38.
On play action, here's Ritter. This one complete to Scott Miller. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 44-yard line. 23 yards the pickup there.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line.
Opposite. Green. Ready.
Now the first running back taken back in April, the former Longhorn, Bijan Robinson. And a good physical run that time. He's going to wind up gaining 5 on that one.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. So let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
Now 2nd and 5.
10 cycles. 560.
Back to throw, Ritter. Got a man, it's Patterson, complete. 5 yards on first down, but now just a 1-yard pickup there on 2nd. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area. But they want him involved, just as you said. They want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. The Falcon passing game looking good on this drive as they get the first down. That's probably as simple of a throw as he'll have all game.
And good for everyone. Good for his completion percentage. Good for the receptions for the receivers. But you know how they work on that. They have footballs with no laces. So as soon as you get the snap, you're just throwing the football. All right, you're not trying to find the laces and grip it a certain way. That takes time. Just get the ball and throw it. So that's how they practice it all the time now, too.
So after a rare misstep on this drive, they'll try to make amends on 2nd and 15. Ritter with it after the play fake. Out to his left. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson with a pick. And the Lions are going to get possession here as they force the opening drive turnover. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training. So he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Here we go, son.
They'll go again with Gibbs. He'll get a yard, that's all, as they get him down at the 28. You talk about this Falcon defense. They sit at number 20 in the NFL right now against the run.
And this game for them is all about the line of scrimmage. Winning that battle, using their leverage, being the low man with power to take the offensive linemen and run them back into their own backfield and try and create some lost yardage plays.
Jack Fox out to punt here on 4th down. Cordero Patterson deep for Atlanta. He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. That's taken on the 25. It's a 42-yard punt. They keep him to just a yard on the return. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line. Well, they were intercepted the first time they had the football, but now they get it back, and it's still 0-0.
And because of that, you know what the thought process is? Interception. What interception? It didn't really happen because they gave up no points. So go back on the attack. Go back and run the offense you believe will be successful. Find your playmakers and give them the football.
Ritter back to throw. And that one too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
Did that just happen? I've got my hand on my eyes right now because like him, it's going to haunt my dreams too. He was wide open. How did he overthrow him there?
Defensively, just very lucky. You know that they got away with one there. Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
Looks like a second empty possession to start the game, and certainly not the way you want to start when you're coming off of a loss last week. Every team talks about starting fast. They're hoping on their next possession, it can be a delayed fast start and get them going.
And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. It's a 43-yard punt, a return of 5, and the Lions will take over. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And on the first drive, 3 and out. I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well.
Tough series for the passing game. Things just aren't clicking. Hoping they come through on this play and get this series back on track with a completion for enough yardage for a 1st down.
Throwing on 3rd down, Fields. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Oh, nice move. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line. And this, Charles, definitely not what they were wanting to see. Remember, he threw 3 interceptions in the loss last week, and now he gives the ball away again here in the very first quarter.
And you have to think that this was drilled into him all week, too, by his teammates, by his...
Oh, he tried to fit it in on the slant, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Cameron Sutton. And the Lions are going to take over once again at their own 25-yard line.
Well, it doesn't take a whole lot of investigation to figure out why they're still sitting at 0 on the scoreboard, because their quarterback's got to wake up and start reading defense a heck of a lot better after throwing his 2nd interception.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
And he's missed now in his first 4 passing attempts. The rhythm is just not there to begin this ball game.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Straight ahead with Gibbs here. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
And force the incompletion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
So 7 yards from the 1st down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. From the gun, here's Fields. And this is going to be incomplete.
I know this offense was expecting to do big things, but it certainly hasn't turned out that way, at least not through the first 3 drives. They're definitely going to put their heads together and start concocting some offense that'll move the ball downfield.
And here now the punter Fox as he sends this one away. And we'll see what he can do on the return. A 44-yard punt. They're going to wind up losing yardage on the return, though. And it will be Falcon football. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back, but make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
Ritter to throw it. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's third down. Only 5 on this play to move the sticks. Ritter from the gun on third down. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
How about the show put on by these two defenses in this first half? The fireworks don't have to be just offensively. Neither one of them given an inch, and that's good coverage once again there to force another 4th down.
And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. A good head-down running on the return, gets about 15 yards. And they will take over 1st and 10. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And, partner, I know so far, we're still in the first half, but you love this game as a defensive guy. 0-0. We'll see if the offense can get going on this drive.
But you know how they talk about music to your ears? How about what it does for your eyes when you watch something like this, right, where these teams are locked in and going at it, no points going up on the scoreboard? I'm loving it. You're exactly right.
Well, switch over, though, to an offensive mindset for a moment. What do they need to do here to get on track and get some points?
Well, I think a couple of ways. Number one, you pull out something maybe they haven't seen before. Coaches always talk about unscouted looks. Maybe you give them something that they haven't seen on tape, and now you shock them that way. The second, run your basic playbook, but run it so well that you give your skill position guys a chance to make big plays individually.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Well, it certainly appears that they're going to try and keep getting him the football. It's the 3rd time they've looked in his direction. Unfortunately, haven't completed one yet, but I'm not sure they're going to shy away from him. They feel like they've got something there, and they want to capitalize on it.
I think you're right, Roll. And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. Jahmyr Gibbs, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Lions get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. And now before we get to the extra point, remember all touchdowns do have to be confirmed by the replay official. So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right. Extra point by Patterson, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. Patterson back out there to send this one away. Patterson going to bring this out of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. They're probably lucky to only be down 7-0 as they come up 1st and 10. Now a handoff to start it out. Robinson. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports.
With the score, Lions 7, Falcons nothing.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Slide through. Ready.
Here's Ritter. Throw left side complete. That's Patterson. And he'll be out right at the 35. It's a gain of 13 and a first down for Atlanta. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about
Now Robinson coughs up the football. It's loose. Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. And remember, he put one on the ground last week, so the rookie now back-to-back weeks with a fumble lost.
and zero excuses, but altogether not surprising. Rookie running backs have to adjust to the speed of the NFL, and it's not just in their running. It's the speed of defenders getting to them, how hard and aggressive they are in tackling, them raking at the football. So many things they didn't deal with in college, and that's one of the big adjustments that they have to make. Again, not a surprise, but he's got to figure it out.
On 1st and 10, here's Gibbs. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. The Lions at 1-1 through 2 games thus far. It's not a start that's going to set the world on fire, but they've been pretty solid nonetheless.
And the first thing that crosses my mind, it certainly beats the alternative of starting 0-2. I do think that this is a team that's going to take a little time to find its footing. Hard to navigate the always tough NFL.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
One thing you always worry about when he breaks the pocket is he going to take off with it? That time, the pressure was starting to close in, and he's just got to throw this one away.
Don't jump. Ready?
This offense so far on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 10. Now here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing 4th down.
Patterson's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So able to add on to their first half lead here, Charles, forcing the miscue with a fumble and then turning that into 3 points.
Yeah, and more than happy to accept any mistakes the other side is willing to make. No problem. You turn it over, we'll take that, and we'll use it to expand our lead.
And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20.
Let's go.
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive? A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown, but they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
Your coach will just be relieved that they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach will be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield and punch in the end zone without turning it over.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Ready?
Going play action. Ritter. It's caught on the right side at Smith. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
Good, sure hands there from a guy not accustomed to catching a whole lot of passes. But how about the way he was able to pull that one in and pick up good yardage?
Ready. Ready.
Ritter off the play fake. Being chased out left. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Well, you know me, whether you need it or not, I'm going to give you unsolicited advice. Just throw it downfield out of the pocket, only if you're absolutely sure. Otherwise, use your running ability and try and get those yards a safer way.
3rd down, here's Patterson. And he'll be stopped well short. Only 2 yards there, 4th and 3.
Another down on the scoreboard, but the urge to go for it is almost irresistible here on 4th and short. Yeah, I know they're on their own side of the field.
I was going to say.
Normally I would say punt the ball away, but I'm feeling it. I say go for it.
This will be fielded at the 17. 42-yard punt, 6 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try and increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
And he edges forward, but only gets a pair of yards out of it, and it's 2nd down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find the hole.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. His first catch, good for 14 there and a 1st down.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
Angel. Go.
Fields on 1st down. Throw caught by Raymond. Oh, he's hit. He lost the football. Put it on the carpet. But it looks like one of the DBs has it. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball.
And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure.
Here we go, Scott.
2nd and short now following the fumble.
Hey, Ken. Right.
Here's Fields. That's complete to the portal. 2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down.
A 1st down created by Laporta. An easy draft pick by the Lions because he fit exactly what they want. A tight end excels at finding gaps in coverage and throwing hard blocks at the line of scrimmage.
And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. It makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
Here we go.
And they'll come up on a 2nd and 7 from the 27.
Right.
Gibbs on the toss left. And he's into the motor's way down to the 16-yard line. 41 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
We really didn't have any doubt that he was going to be one of the top-rated rookies coming into the league, especially as a runner. And he's given us no reason to change our minds. That's a big-time run, and the production that he showed us in college is translating very well into the National Football League.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage.
Here we go.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11.
Sit high.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Fields. And this is going to be intercepted. Greedy Williams picks it off. And the Falcons are going to have it here at their own 15.
And when a team advances as far as they did, got over the 50-yard line, don't you think that drive deserved a better ending? I think he needs to get with his coaches on the sidelines, make some immediate adjustments. And
well, this is intercepted. They get Ritter for the 3rd time. Jack Campbell with a pick. And he will bring it back to about the 11-yard line. Boy, so another interception, CD. It feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
And just shy of the goal line as he's out of bounds right at the 1. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so.
Some good strong running right there, some power and some explosiveness just about got him into the end zone.
Keep in mind they can still get a first down here as they come up on 2nd and inches. Now it's Fields. Setting up the screen. This is Gibbs. Touchdown! Jahmyr Gibbs with his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Lions are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Patterson now for the extra point. He's got it, and it's 17-0. And Patterson back out there to send this one away. From his end zone, here comes Patterson. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the 2nd quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game.
There he goes, left side. Inside the 10. Touchdown, Falcons. Scotty Miller, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Falcons are able to strike quickly here as they are in for 6. Koo able to connect on the extra point, and that'll cut the lead to 17-7. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Still more than a minute to go, so there is time if they want to mount something here.
Not only time, but they have 3 timeouts at their disposal as well, so that changes everything that you're doing here. Without those timeouts, you can only work the sidelines, hoping to get out of bounds. Here, the middle of the field's still available because you can call timeout and regroup.
2nd down, and they go back to Gibbs. 4 yards the pickup, first down. Now a timeout called for by the offense as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Eleven.
On first down, Fields. And that's to the left sideline and incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet.
Here we go.
Here's 2nd and 10. Now the former Bear. This is David Montgomery. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down, because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. The Falcons going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. It's a 40-yard punt, 6 yards on the return.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive.
And with him down 2 scores, you wonder if they might try and put something together, even if it's just to get it.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
Picked off by Trenton Simpson.
And he'll return it to the 24-yard line.
An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
First down, here's the run with Montgomery.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Now another timeout called for by the offense, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action.
2nd and 7 from the 20.
Go.
Out of the gun, Fields.
And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Bud Dupree. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half.
Charles, not only is that an interception, it's one when you were really knocking on the door for a touchdown inside the red zone.
You're actually thinking points. No matter what, at worst, you're thinking kicking a field goal and getting 3. We might look back on this in the second half and say, you remember.
Ritter cannot escape, and they bring him down.
And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. And unless this is a quick incompletion, this is likely the last play here of this first half.
Final play before the half. Here's Ritter. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. Oh, he had a man open. He overshot him. It's incomplete.
So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn, getting set for quarter number 3 here.
A 10-point game, 17-7 the score as we get back to it on EA Sports.
And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
Don't jump.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And despite the turnovers, Charles, and they had multiple in that first half, they still have the lead as they begin this 3rd quarter.
And they probably heard some conflicting tones at the half, don't you think? A lot of praise for what they did to get this lead, but also a little bit of scolding because they got to take better care of the football in the second half. But you and I both know the great leaders, they know how to give that little bit of vinegar in there and cover it with a big dose of honey.
2nd down, and they go back to Gibbs. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 80 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon. They've got the lead early here in the 3rd quarter, and runs like that are how they established that lead in the first half.
I love the fact that you're using the word lead because they are leading from the front, pounding on the defense right now with the running game, and truly establishing themselves here in the second half.
On 1st and 10, here's Fields. That one let go deep for Laporta.
And incomplete on the deep ball.
They decided the opportunity was there and launched a deep ball, but he was unable to get away from the defender, couldn't create space, couldn't uncover at the end of the route, and that one winds up incomplete.
On 2nd down, here's Gibbs.
And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
Well, this play sequence was really kind of called in reverse. Incomplete pass on 1st and 10. Nice run on 2nd and 10 when probably everyone was expecting them to throw the football. Now, if you're the defense, what are they going to do on 3rd down? You're a little off balance.
Gibbs will try and pick it up. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. Here comes the Lions punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And you can't do it much better than that. This ball kicks out of bounds at the 4-yard line. And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
Really shouldn't be a surprise. It's going to be hard to move people in this situation. You know they're going to bring the pressure defensively. So I remember playing in these spots, and my coach was over.
And oh, my goodness, here's a 5th interception. Jonathan Abram picks it. From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. Fields now to throw. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
And to put it mildly, this is a tough spot defensively. They have to come right back out and defend their red zone. But how about that good first step towards forcing them to settle for at least 3 points? I think they're also thinking bigger right now. Imagine being able to stop them totally and change the momentum.
No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the 1st down and move the chains. Fields. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about, and you can read the receiver's eyes. You can.
Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. Well, maybe that's the spark that they needed here, Charles. Trailing, but... We'll see if that swings the momentum a bit.
You mentioned the word spark. I'm just wondering, as they went off the field and the offense was coming out, did one of those special teams members say, hey, obviously we haven't given up on this one. We've given you a little bit of a spark. What are you going to do with it?
They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that'll make it 2nd down. Out of the gun, they give to Robinson. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the 1st. They go play action. Now Heineke. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is going to have a Falcons 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Working out of the gun. Here's Heineke. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. Jack Campbell in there to record the 2nd sack of his young NFL career. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50. Well, is they going to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them?
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked by Emmanuel Mosley. So that now 2 consecutive drives that have ended in interceptions. You wonder if he's trying to do a little too much out there.
Oh, I like where you're going with that maybe he's pressing it a little bit, trying to be too fine with his throws, or maybe overestimating his arm. It could be a combination of all those things. In any event, he's got to get it figured out and in a hurry.
this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
He did an okay job of absorbing the hit, just couldn't secure the football through the catch.
And he was right there on the spot, forced the incompletion. That's something defenders work on all the time. If you're there, make the contact, but continue to work your way through the receiver so that you can't possess the football and turn it into a catch.
So 2nd and 10 now here in the third quarter from Detroit. Here's Fields.
A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
A couple of quick incompletions, and now they're just one more away from getting off the field. They've got options now. Could they dial up a blitz here or just drop everyone into coverage to crowd the throwing lanes?
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long.
To throw is Fields. Goes out left. It's caught by Williams.
And he'll be brought down well short of the first at about the 9-yard line.
Now back with the Lions. Here's Riley Patterson on for the field goal.
And remember, he had one blocked earlier.
Patterson's kick is good.
And that will open the lead up now to 20-7. So this time the protection holds up for him just fine, and he's able to bang it through.
I think their special teams coach got the point across. He gave him a pretty good earful after the block earlier, and this time there's no penetration, so they're able to pick up 3.
And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down officially at the 21.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Now Heineke.
He rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Trenton Simpson.
And he will bring it back. An interception return for the Lions. Touchdown.
And Charles, for this offense, those interception woes that kind of had in the first half have now followed them into the second half. And for this defense, they take advantage, turn that into a pick 6.
And that defense is in a spot now where they're thinking about ways to close this game out. And as confidently as they've been playing, I expect them to do exactly that.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away.
Patterson going to bring this out of the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line.
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
And now off to the races down the right side. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
On 1st and 10, it's Robinson.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled.
15 more yards there, and quickly another 1st down.
First downs have not come easy, and neither have runs like this throughout this game.
Absolutely not. He finally felt like, whoa, a sigh of relief. We got something going in the running game.
On 1st and 10, Heineke.
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time.
It's Brian Branch with it.
And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line.
And that's a ball that he is going to want to keep, his first career interception in the National Football League.
And I love what teams do when that happens. You bring the ball to the sideline, the equipment guy grabs it, he puts a piece of tape on it, writes on it so that you know what it is, and then they tuck it away so that you can have it for later and put it on your mantle. Pretty good deal for him right there. Now he's eager to get back out on the field and get his second one.
It's a gain of 9. Brings up 2nd and a yard.
Hurry up, hurry up.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out
on this third quarter. This is the National Football League on EA Sports.
Here we go. Good.
From the 35, here's 2nd and a yard. Another run for Gibbs here. Yeah, so they get that one, Charles, on the right tackle.
Yeah, oftentimes in that spot, you're trying to work against a defender, trying to set the edge in the running game, and you're trying to drive around and get your body twisted so that he can't get there. Sometimes your hands get too involved.
A play fake, now Fields to throw. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Troy Anderson. And he'll take this across midfield and inside the 45. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. It's Brian Branch with it. That interception may be the exclamation mark on what really all around has been a good performance.
A fantastic performance. They will enjoy film session. Their grade should be very good on this one. And I think the next time the offense gets the ball, I just think about running it and getting the clock done and getting the heck out of here.
And by the way, semantics here, but before the grammar police come after me, I think it's exclamation point, not mark, right?
You're asking me? Seriously?
Yeah, you're smarter than me. Everybody knows that.
Listen, I go with what you say, my man.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Don't jump. Ready?
At the 42-yard line.
Right.
Gibbs straight ahead. Oh, a heck of a move.
Man.
And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. 113 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. Going back to Gibbs on 1st down. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up. And I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timing?
Under pressure, and he'll go down. Back at the 26-yard line. Grady Jarrett, credit him with a sack, and it goes as a loss of 6. The Lions on 3rd down. It has been a disaster. 0 for 8 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12. Now Fields. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. A penalty accepted, and they move the ball forward. Now a 1st down throw, Fields. And oh my goodness, here's a 5th interception. And a terrific return as he takes this thing all the way down near the 20-yard line. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used the calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when we see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it.
And he gets in. Touchdown, Atlanta. Bijan Robinson. His 5th rushing touchdown now on the year. And the Falcons have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. Extra point by Koo, up and good. And that cuts this lead down to 13. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And they'll let that one go as it skips through the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Well, don't look now, but they've got a little bit of a battle on their hands again. Back to a 2-score game. The interception that led to a touchdown. You'd have to think they're a little more careful here if they do indeed try to throw the football.
Yeah, and I was a little surprised by the last throw. You know, that type of throw with this type of a game, I'm going to be very careful about it. Maybe the only throw you make is maybe a toss to your halfback or something like that. Otherwise, take care of the thing and finish this bad boy off.
On the give, here's Gibbs. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
Now Fields, and he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. Nice third down conversion and even 20 yards. Hand off now to Gibbs. And a strong run that time as he's across midfield and down to the 43. 12 more yards there and another first down. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners.
Touchdown, Detroit! Jahmyr Gibbs, 43 yards. And the Lions look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this fourth quarter.
Well, that's a good-looking rookie right there. I love how he let the play set up and then showed that explosiveness that I saw on tape in college. Remember I showed you the clip of what he was doing and setting up blocks, and then he would just go? We saw it on that play right there. That one was fun to watch.
And Patterson back out there to send this one away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
This ball down the field for Pitts. And this is incomplete. Oh, it looked like he had a pretty good line on that one. That would have been a big play, but he could not pull it in.
And this is a situation where, as a head coach, you're just saying, what else could go wrong? Let's get it all out of our system, please. This has been a sloppy game throughout. The execution has been lacking. A lot of mistakes, both mental and physical. And here's a big play that goes by.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Flying in for that sack, Aiden Hutchinson. Here is third and quite a ways. Now Heineke. And that will be incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on fourth down. They're going for it. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And, oh, my goodness, here's a fifth interception. Kyle Hamilton picks it. And they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line. Well, there's two sides to this coin. I mean, on one side, 5 interceptions now thrown for him. That's tough. But, man, this defense, they have been ball hawking and impressive. But, Charles, let's flip it back over. If you're coaching a quarterback that's struggling this much at this stage of the game, do you maybe try to get him out?
I would think about it, and I think about it awfully hard. But also, you might want to look into his eyes, see what he has. He might be one of those players that you don't want to affect his confidence by actually pulling him out of the game. So you have to know your player. You have to know the situation.
On second down, Montgomery. Call it a gain of 5 that time. They'll be left with a third down and about 9 to go. And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left. And they'll need to get to the 35 if they want to keep this drive going on third down. Back to throw, Fields. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete. With the passing game right now for them, not overly impressive. Last week he hit on right at 50%. This week he's under 50%.
And it's not just on him. Protection, a few breakdowns along the way. That's made him get off the spot. Receivers not getting their way open downfield. The coverage has been awfully tight. They've got to all get together and find ways to make this passing game get in gear.
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. But probably not much that they can do at this point, CD. Down 3 scores late in the fourth quarter. This is going to be a little too much to overcome, you would think.
Yeah, they'll go down swinging, but in the end, I think we saw the writing on the wall a while back because one team was clearly better than the other in this one. And while it didn't quite reach blowout status, I think we knew who was going to win this one well before we got to this stage.
So the folks in New York just going to wind up confirming what the officials saw as this play will stand as is. First down, Heineke. And that is incomplete.
Well, these guys are not going to go out with their tails between their legs. They're going to keep taking their shots until the clock's at 000. But that one, like a lot of others, winds up incomplete.
Throwing again, Heineke on 2nd and 10. And my goodness, another interception. Kyle Hamilton picks it, and he returns it into enemy territory down to the 45-yard line. Well, to be frank, CD, this is getting tough to watch. I mean, you feel for him, but 6 interceptions. It's not a good level.
It makes it tougher and tougher to come up with ways to try and support him. But you have to as a team because you can't just throw your quarterback aside. You're going to need him later on. But it reminds me of a time that a former defense coordinator of mine told me he was in a game where his quarterback threw 7 interceptions. So after the 6-1, one of the defensive players went to the quarterback and said, here's what you do. Throw the ball to the other team, and let's see if our receivers can pick it off and turn it into a completion.
That's just mean. I don't know that I'd go down there and say that to him right now. Probably pretty fragile. The defense can stop it twice more as they take a knee here. So this one's over. It's a win for the Detroit Lions, and it's going to be their defense that gets the ink in the headlines tomorrow, and for good reason. They forced 5 turnovers in this game.
And while we were watching this game unfold, I kept thinking about when we did our training camp tour and something that you noticed along the way. Just about every camp we visited, when the defense got together, everyone was doing ball drills. Defensive linemen, linebackers, secondary, because they understood how vital it was to take the football away. And they wanted every opportunity. When the ball was knocked free, they want all those guys to be familiar with touching the ball so they could pick up the fumble or get the interception. And we saw it pay off in this one here.
Yeah, 5 times. They'll remember this one. So for Detroit, they get back in the win column as they move to 2-1 now on the year. And they will